Tonight's story is called Beauty and the Beast, an old tale about a kind girl, a lonely castle, and a friendship that grew slowly, gently, over time. If you're ready, you can close your eyes now and just listen. Let's begin. In a small village at the edge of a great, quiet forest, there lived a girl named Belle. Belle loved books more than almost anything. She loved getting lost in old stories and dreaming of faraway places, and she was known throughout the village for her kind heart, always ready to help a neighbor or comfort a friend. One autumn evening, Belle's father set off on a long journey through the forest, planning to return home before nightfall. But the sky grew dark, and a soft mist rolled in among the trees, and before long, he found he had lost his way entirely. Cold and tired and a little worried, he wandered until, through the mist, he spotted a great stone castle, its windows glowing with warm, welcoming light. He knocked at the tall castle doors, and to his surprise, they creaked open on their own, as though welcoming him in. Inside, a fire crackled warm in the hearth, and a table stood set with soup and bread and a steaming cup of tea, as if someone had known he was coming. "Hello," he called softly. No one answered. Too tired and cold to wonder much further, he settled by the fire, ate the warm meal left for him, and before he knew it, drifted off to sleep in a soft armchair. In the morning, feeling rested and grateful, he noticed a beautiful rose garden just outside a castle window and thought of Belle, who loved gathering wildflowers back home. He plucked just one single rose to bring to her. That is when a deep, sad voice spoke from the shadows. "You've taken my rose," the voice said, quiet and mournful, more sorrowful than angry. "After I gave you shelter and food and warmth." Belle's father turned, and there stood a great beast, tall and shaggy, with gentle, sad eyes that seemed to carry a heavy weight of loneliness. "I'm so sorry," Belle's father said gently. "I only thought of my daughter. She loves roses so." The beast was quiet for a long moment. "You may keep the rose," he said softly, "but in return, you must send one of your daughters to live here with me. I am so very lonely in this castle, and I would ask only for company and kindness. She would never be harmed here. I promise you that." When Belle heard what had happened, she thought of her father's tired eyes, and she made up her mind at once. "I'll go," she said gently. "Better me than you, Papa. I'll be all right." So Belle traveled through the misty forest and arrived at the great castle, her heart beating a little quick, but her chin held steady and brave. The beast greeted her at the door, his voice soft and a little unsure. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I know this castle must seem strange to you, but please, you may explore anywhere you like. The library, especially, I think you'll enjoy." Belle blinked in surprise. "A library?" "The largest you've ever seen," the beast said, and for just a moment, something like a shy smile crossed his face. Over the following days, Belle explored the castle's grand rooms, and its enormous, wondrous library, filled floor to ceiling with more books than she could read in a lifetime. Each evening, she and the beast would share a quiet dinner together, and slowly, gently, they began to talk. At first, their conversations were small and careful, favorite books, favorite quiet places, memories of childhood. But as the days turned to weeks, Belle found herself looking forward to their evening talks. The beast, despite his large and unusual appearance, was thoughtful and gentle and endlessly kind to her. "You're not at all what I expected," Belle told him one evening, as they sat by the fire. "Neither are you," the beast said softly. "I expected you to be afraid of me. I'm glad you're not." "You've never given me a reason to be," Belle said simply. Slowly, over many quiet evenings, Belle and the beast became true friends. They walked together in the rose garden in the cool evening air. They read together by the fire, sometimes Belle reading aloud while the beast listened, his large paws folded gently in his lap. She began to notice that his sadness seemed to soften, bit by bit, the more time they spent together, the same way a stiff, cold morning slowly warms as the sun rises higher. But one evening, Belle looked into a small, enchanted mirror the beast had given her, and saw her father, back home, unwell and missing her terribly. "I have to go to him," Belle said, worry creasing her brow. The beast nodded slowly, though something sad flickered behind his gentle eyes. "Then you must go," he said softly. I would never keep you from your father. Go to him. Take all the time you need. Belle rushed home through the forest and found her father ill with worry and cold, and she cared for him tenderly, day after day, until slowly he grew strong again. But even as her father recovered, Belle found her thoughts drifting back to the castle, to the quiet library, to the gentle evenings by the fire, and to the beast, whose kindness she missed more than she'd expected to. One night, she dreamed of him, alone in the rose garden, growing sadder and more tired with each passing day she was away. She woke with a start. "I have to go back," she whispered. "Right away." She hurried back through the misty forest as quickly as she could, her heart pounding with worry, and found the beast lying quietly among his beloved roses, weak and tired and terribly sad, having missed her more than he ever let himself say. "Please," Belle said softly, kneeling beside him, tears in her eyes. "Please don't be sad anymore. I came back. I'm here." "You came back," the beast whispered, his voice barely more than a breath. "Of course I did," Belle said gently, taking his large paw in her hands. "I missed you. I should never have stayed away so long." And in that quiet, tender moment, something wonderful happened. A soft, warm light began to glow around the beast, gentle as candlelight, growing brighter and brighter, until Belle had to shield her eyes. When the light faded, standing before her was no longer a great shaggy beast, but a kind young man, his sad eyes now the very same gentle ones she'd come to love. "An old enchantment," he explained softly. "I was cursed to remain as I was, until someone loved me not for how I looked, but for who I truly was inside. You broke that curse, Belle, simply by being kind." Belle smiled softly and took his hand. "I never needed you to be anything other than yourself," she said. "That was always enough." And so, Belle stayed at the castle from then on, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. And the castle, once so quiet and lonely, filled slowly with warmth and laughter and the soft turning of pages in that enormous library. Her father visited often and was always welcomed with warm soup and a crackling fire, just as he had been on that very first misty night. That evening, as the castle settled into quiet, Belle and her gentle friend sat together by the fire, the rose garden calm and still outside the window, and thought about how the kindest things are rarely loud or sudden or grand. They are slow and patient and gentle, like a friendship built one quiet evening at a time. Now the fire is glowing low, and it's time to rest. Your eyes growing heavy, heavier still, just like Belle's did, in her soft castle bed, safe and warm and loved exactly as she was. Good night, little one. Sleep tight. I'll see you next time.